Yeah, so this is, I guess, the Woolf's newest project, the brainchild of the founder president at Kessler. How do I use this? So the commission is basically an independent commission convened by the Woolf Institute. It's composed of 23 commissioners, and its aim is essentially to improve integration for refugees and the refugee experience in the UK. And I guess its overall vision is for a society where everybody feels, including refugees obviously, feels welcome and part of strong, cohesive communities. So to do this, the commissioners are going to work together over the coming 18 months, collecting evidence and hearing from stakeholders across the country with the intention of producing a report and recommendations late next year. And we want this report to have kind of broad public and political support. And really this, I guess, is the kind of USP of the commission. Is that we wanted to transcend the pretty polarising and divisive discourse around refugees and integration, which I think has become pretty evident in the last few weeks. Because ultimately, it's our contention that there's actually a lot of consensus around this issue. And the main consensus is that the current refugee and asylum system in the UK is broken. And there's three very, very broad things to support that claim. Is the fact that we have record numbers of active cases in the asylum system at the moment, over 120,000. We have tens of thousands of asylum seekers and Afghan resettled refugees in temporary hotel accommodation, and we've also got more people arriving via very unsafe routes across the Channel every year than ever before. So all of this is unfair, it's unethical, it's open to abuse, and it's also very, very detrimental to the integration of refugees. So what is integration, and why is it in the title of the commission? Integration is pretty hard to define, I imagine, and I'm sure Julian would agree with that. I read somewhere that I guess an interesting way of thinking about it is that its absence in any society is much more obvious than its presence. But according to academia, or several academics and also the Home Office, I think it's best seen as a kind of two-way process, which involves everybody in society taking responsibility, and obviously can mean different things in different localities. So crucially, I think that means that it means an openness to change from the host communities, as well as from the refugees coming in. And one of the principal assumptions underpinning the Commission's work is that policy around integration has been piecemeal and essentially neglected by successive governments since at least the 1990s, if not long before that. And all of the commissioners can agree that integration needs to be back in the priority when it comes to refugee and asylum issues. So, who are the commissioners? I've got them there, but obviously wouldn't expect to, I'm not going to read them out. They're from across civil society, politics, public sector, faith communities, academia. Several of them have got lived experience of the refugee and asylum system in the UK. And two of them are in this room, at least. And yeah, you can find out more about that on the website. Their first task, when they met together as a group in September in the House of Lords, was to agree on a number of principles that should underpin any kind of ideal refugee and asylum system, and they came up, we sort of came up with these 12 in this quite unattractive wheel, but whatever. I won't read them out, but I think some of the most important ones are that any reforms to the system need to be co-produced, and the lived experience of refugees has to underpin any proposals that the Commission comes up with. The importance of ensuring the human rights of refugees and asylum seekers sits at the heart of the system. Then again, also the importance of ensuring the system has the consent of the public, the British public and political actors. The importance of taking into consideration the absorption capacity of different areas of the country when refugees and asylum seekers are dispersed, and also the importance of expanding safe and regular entry to the UK, while acknowledging that there will always be some irregular migration, as it's called. And then several others, which you can find on the website as well. The next task of the Commission is going to be to collect evidence, and this will take place for approximately 18 months. We've got sort of 5 broad avenues of evidence collection. One of these is going to be a very general call for evidence, which will be announced later this year or early next year, which will be to collect qualitative evidence from asylum seekers and refugees themselves, service providers, experts, and also the general public. The next work stream or aspect of the Commission's work are a number of local hearings that are going to happen across the country, starting in Birmingham week after next. And this is going to be an opportunity for people providing integration support, refugees and asylum seekers in those areas to speak to commissioners, communicate their experiences, their challenges, and also feed into the final report. Then we have site visits to key facilities involved in this process, such as Home Office accommodation, expert consultation meetings, and economic modelling. So the outputs of this work will be a report and recommendations by late 2023, a number of interim reports, the first of which is actually going to be published to correspond with the public launch of the Commission in 2 weeks' time. And this is a review, basically a policy review of asylum and integration policy around refugees and integration since the 1990s. And then also this the economic assessment of the proposals that we put forward, which we hope will essentially be a cost-benefit analysis of integration and the importance of prioritising integration as basically a public policy priority. And that will obviously underpin the credibility of the final report. So it's quite a lot to do in not very much time, but yeah, we'll do it.